Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the stock market update video. And today we'll be looking at QQQ, Sp500, Tesla, Nvidia, Apple, Amazon, Google, Microsoft, and Meta. And we'll be looking at their support and resistance levels, as well as most likely scenario where price will be heading into later this week. And I remember on Friday, we talked about a couple of things like money rotating in the market. If money is rotating in the markets, everything is still be healthy. And we're on a longer term bull trend on the uptrend. So for we don't want to be holding on shorts for too long, especially in an environment like this, especially when you have Apple being weak, but Amazon breaking out its daily uptrend finally. We've been talking about Amazon for a while, saying that it's the last to break its daily uptrend, and it'll very likely do it soon after all of its peers like Microsoft, Google, Amazon, and Nvidia, Apple, all of them already did. And this is what we got today. And market pretty much got carried by Tesla today, up 10% after its price target got upgraded over the weekend to $400. All right, let's take a look at the data real quick. It shifted a little bit. So now we're looking at a 3.6% CPI data on Wednesday. So that is hotter than our previous months. So that may be the reason why market was a little bit red last week, because market likes to price things a little bit earlier than sometimes, because they wouldn't just pricing in the day of or like the day before. So, but surprised that we got a green day today, meaning market probably doesn't really care that much about this number because it's already out on the forecast. But we'll get the actual number on Wednesday. Obviously, if it comes in 3.7 or 3.8, then we're probably gonna get red today. But we'll see how it actually comes in. Usually when the forecast is a little bit higher, like hotter, like 0.6, the last thing we want to do is get something that's even hotter in the data. We get like a 0.7. So if we're getting something that's high already, hopefully we get something a little bit cooler, like 0.5 or 0.4 or 3.5 here. So we'll see how that goes. We also have PPI on Thursday. Same thing, another inflation data. So we'll see if we get any hotter or not. And if we do get something hotter, then the rate hikes that we've been looking at may increase. But as of now, the rate hike is going to be a hold on September 20th, and it'll be a hold for the rest of the year. All right, let's take a look at the charts. So on Friday, we're talking about where we might confirm a daily downtrend if we break Thursday's low. And looks like the bulls over the weekend, the overnight traders, had a gap up. So, and it looked good because we had a gap up, back tested, we call it Friday's high, and acted as support. So now that's a good sign. So if we back tested, came down to Friday's high, resistance now acting as support because price is above it. You can see right after we break out of this tightening range here. 15 minutes. I'll zoom in for you guys to see. Equilibrium just means the move prior to the move just tightens up. This is more like a rising wedge. And then we're now breaking out of that. You can see all these bull volume coming in after the range finishes tightening up. That's two good signs, meaning we back tested the resistance now becoming support, and it tightened up into afternoon and broke out. So a lot of traders trade during the afternoon. Some of them trade right at the morning, but sometimes right at the morning, it's a little bit harder to get a clear sense of directions unless we are in a one of those trending months where you get those uptrends just continuing over every day. Then that would be a good. Those would be good weeks to trade your stocks in the morning. But something like this, some traders just watch for these tiny ranges to break out, and that's like the only thing they trade. If this break bear, they get in a short position, and they take profit after the move's over. Break bull, same thing, take profit after the move is over. A lot of tiny ranges throughout the weeks. You don't have to trade every day. Take good setups, increase your probability of winning, and over time, you will increase your capital. So we have a breakout, and now let's take a look at the daily time frame. So we have pretty much bounced over at least 65%. Let me take a look of this initial drop. Yeah, pretty much over 65%. See this 0.65. So now the next move down is going to favor the bulls. Let's say we get a little bit of pullback, then the move will likely favor the bull on the bounce. And you guys keep a note that we are still in a daily uptrend. Big move up, big move down. This move broke above the prior pivot high. So this was a daily uptrend confirmed right there. Although we did have a decent 3-day pullback, we're still in a daily uptrend because we're above this pivot. This pivot low is still above this pivot low, meaning the trend is still intact. And now this is a big enough bounce where potentially we may just be heading higher and breaking above this pivot. So we'll see if that happens or not. And after today's move, the chances of us confirming a weekly downtrend is becoming less and less because we had to break this. We had to break this low actually. August 14th, 370.47 is low for us to come from a weekly downtrend. Yeah, so now bears need at least, let's see, a 5.5% drop for that to confirm. I mean, anything can happen, but as of now, the chances of it happening is decreasing as we get this bounce overall. Yeah, you can see on SPY as well, it back tested the 12 EMA and support as well. Bounce off of it. We'll take a look in a second as well. And on Friday, I think we were talking about that I added a swing trade long on Disney just because it's been in a pretty long downtrend for a while, and we're potentially playing for a laggard bull. Actually, let's take a look here and see what this trend line looks like. Yeah, it actually coincides with each other. It's okay. This one as well, the current one. So it's a good area. So it's pretty much where I added. So there's a couple of things why I added here, because we back tested the pivot low right there, which is pretty much this zone right here. And at the same time, we were really close to weekly oversold on the RSI when that candle was at its low, pretty much at, I remember it being at 31 or really close to 30. And as well as this was the bottom of the falling wedge support. You can see this mirror looking line. So bounce here, test it here twice, and we got a bounce today. So my idea was, if I was wrong here, I won't have a big loss because I'm setting my stop loss under this falling wedge support line, as well as have a clear level to play off of this C below, right? So I have two clear levels to play off of, and if I'm wrong, I get stop out with a small loss. And if I am right, my first target would likely be closer to the top of this resistance rising wedge. So which should be, you can see this resistance, resistance, resistance. So my first target would likely be close to around here. Doesn't look much on the chart because we're on the weekly chart, but I'll measure it for you guys real quick. So it will be something like over top of this. So we get it close to about 5%. And from where I added, we got about at 81. So we got about 6-ish%. So that's just my first initial target. And depending on how it trades when we hit there, I'll let you guys know, because there's some support over here along the way that's going to act as resistance, which coincides with that top of the rising wedge. And we'll see. Let's see, 81. Actually, we have more room. We have 8%. Yeah, I'll be taking some profit potentially at 8% if market is a little bit weaker at that time if we hit here. But if market is still like super strong and we hit this 8%, and then when we reject here, it's a slight pullback, very shallow pullback, and we actually form a support along the way, then I'm probably just going to hold it and we can potentially get a breakout here. Because if we reject here, we may just chop around and head lower like that. So that's the last thing I want to happen. Even if that happens, I'll probably get stopped out a little bit down here, close to that pivot low. Yeah, around these lows. But as of now, it's holding, and up like 3% or something, not much. I barely even looked at it today because when you have your stop loss in set, as well as you have a clear target, you just don't need to worry about it. You stop out, you know how much you're going to lose already. So no big deal. And yeah, the idea of this is that I want a longer term breakout over time. Hold it for a few months, potentially get at least over 10%, potentially maybe up 15, yeah, or more, depending how it trades when it hits those levels. I'm not gonna predict all the way up there when we don't have price actions up there yet. All right, this is gonna, and I'm also looking at PayPal for a potential swing. But I'll talk more about this when I see. I want to see this potentially. This could form a daily uptrend. This pivot being set and have a clear level to play off of as well. If I'm wrong, let's get stop out down here. And right, this will confirm a daily uptrend, breaking this high, and we may potentially head higher. This is also a falling wedge in the big picture. I just didn't draw it here yet. Yeah. I'll do more of these videos on Sundays, the members video, but now let's just go back to technical analysis. Let's get back to SPY. So SPY looking good here because same thing, QQ. Gapped up open, back tested, resistance now acting as support. So we held here. This was a very clear falling wedge. And you can see exactly resistance and support. This line for you to see. And you can see right here, when we just broke out of that, full volume came in. Same thing with QQQ. And that's a good sign. You can see this level pretty much coincides with the high of Friday's level. So prior resistance now acting as support is a good sign because price is above it. Hourly uptrend in DAC, same thing with QQQ. Hourly uptrend is both in an uptrend, daily as well. So you guys know why I talk about it. When daily is an uptrend, we don't want to play against the trend, even though we had a pretty big 4-day drop, if you ask me. But to the 12 EMA, still looking line. This is the exponential moving average 12, and bounce off of it as well. So now the chances of forming a weekly downtrend, same thing, decreases. The next level I'm looking back up is this 451 zone, which is these levels right here. That was acting as resistance support. It's a clear zone. And this could still chop around into end of the year. We would come back up here, come back down. Still happen. But CPI data is definitely going to depend on that. If it comes in line with expected, and market is still strong, you're probably just going to head higher. See, 2 more trading days. We'll get actually no, 1.5. Because tomorrow, after tomorrow, we're getting in Wednesdays 5:30 a.m. in the morning. So we have 1 more trading day. So tomorrow, be 1 more trading day before data comes in, and we have Tesla breaking out of its sideways range. This equilibrium. So this is what it looks like when you have a fundamental news breakout as well as a technical breakout at the same time for technical charts. You can see this equilibrium right here, right? This mirror looking line. So we are looking at this tiny range for how many days? But it's a week, at least 7 trading days, so a week and a half. And you can see we rejected from here 8 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 times we have rejected from this level. Bounce off of here about 5 times. So look at how much volumes have been trading in this area that is accumulated in the last 8 days. Everybody that's shorted here, right, or went long here, say everybody shorted here, when it breaks out of this tiny range above this level, they had to pretty much all cover, right? So we get a lot of shorts covering, and then we get a lot of people FOMOing in as well at the same time when they see this kind of breakouts, right? So we have buyers stepping in and shorts forcing the cover, and we have a fundamental news that price got upgraded to $400. Then we get something like this. So Let's zoom in and take a look. Yeah. So we had the news over the weekend, so it's very obvious it was going to gap up. So once it gapped up, you can see when my market opened, I just back tested it. This 236 zone support, couldn't break through it, and next thing you know, we had higher because there's just no more downside, no sellers, and we get another full volume breakout into the end of the day and just uptrending. Zero red flags, didn't even break below the, let's see if it broke below the 5 minutes. Pretty much trended the 5 minutes all the way into the end of the day. Give me 12. Minute was clear. We didn't even test the 15-minute until the end of the day. For 15-minute EM at 12. This is also a tightening range that broke out. So let's take a look at where it's gonna head next. Okay, let's take a look. Pretty much straight shot up into next resistance, 275. And if we break 275, there's not really a lot of resistance above us. You can see above 275, it's just this little bit of volume left. So this was pretty much where we needed to break out, and we gapped up above it. So that's why there's so much buying, because we gapped up this strong resistance zone where all this volume is. So all the shorts we got in here, short of here, or short of here, are pretty much in the red. So either they covered here today, or they're just trying to hold through it. So now we're above to this resistance. So you can see that 275 resistance over here is the level that we need to get over. If we were to get over that, we shouldn't have any problems coming up to 284 because yeah, there's a lot of resistance above us, and the momentum is still strong. So daily uptrend confirmed right here on this Thursday, and now it's continuing, time up, and we kept going. So yeah, just don't fight the trend is what I always tell you guys. If there's a daily uptrend going, stay with the daily uptrend. If there's a daily downtrend going, stay with the daily downtrend. Keeping things simple. Nothing complicated here. No fancy indicators that nobody understands, but just price action. It's all indicators are derived from price action itself. In the news gets digested into the price actions, and yeah, and those news makes the people click buy and sell buttons that after they digest the news. So news itself is in the price action as well. All right, let's take a look at Nvidia. So pretty weak today. Semiconductor sector was really weak today. Actually, it was about 1% down in the morning, while QQQ was green, and with QQQ closing 1.2%, semi sector was flat today because it catched up at the end of the day. This is a daily downtrend confirm, lacking follow through because it broke below the pivot. So probably for me, Nvidia might just form a tiny range into end of the year is my guess. So I'm looking at this being top of the range, that's 500 mark, because we tried it 4 times, couldn't get over it. And then this maroon looking line is going to be my guide for the bottom of the range, closer to this 404 zone. So we're going to play between 404 and 500, bounce off of that maroon looking line, and chop around this zone. We'll see. So yeah, because Nvidia has been outperforming for quite a bit for this year, and for it to go sideways, cool down a little bit, while others are money rotates out of it into other sectors, does make sense. And once it finishes tightening up, it will make a big move again, either breaking out of this tiny range, bull or bear. We'll see. Yeah, let's take a look. All of this is a daily downtrend confirmed with lacking follow through. But at the same time, you could say it's because QQQ helped it at the end of the day, because QQQ was breaking out into the end of the day. So that may just be this little mini bounce from it. And tomorrow, if QQQ just slightly red in the morning, maybe it'll come down here. And then QQQ ends up being green again in the afternoon, it'll just slightly bounce like this. So yeah, so we'll see if this is an actual daily downtrend confirmed, lacking follow through, or this is just because QQQ dragged itself up. All right, let's take a look at Apple. Apple here on the daily also broke below Friday's high, but now also bounced as well. So back test, bounce. Although a lot weaker than its peers because it has it's been having pretty bad news for the past week, and its sentiment is still carrying a little bit over. And we have a Apple's event tomorrow, so we'll see how that goes, and if maybe Apple can save itself or not. But hourly trend, it's a little bit choppy. We had an hourly uptrend here confirmed, bounce, but came below it. So now we're back in a neutral hourly trend, but big enough bounce. Still has a chance to confirm its hourly uptrend back to its favor. So zoom out to see red and bounce the rest of the day, which is similar to QQQ. So what I want to see tomorrow is Apple break above today's high, and we'll have a daily uptrend confirmed back to Apple's favor because this is an initial bounce. Now we have the pivot being set. This low here is the pivot. And if we break above the prior high pivot, then we are back to a daily uptrend. As of now, we are in a daily neutral trend. And if that daily uptrend confirms, we're going to come back up to 181, as well as to back test that teal looking line, which is the exponential moving average 12. That one would definitely act as support, which will also coincides with 881. This thing will come down a little bit more tomorrow. And then the rest just depends on its event. See if it's usually we run up to the event and it's more of like a sell in the news type of scenario, but we already sold off before that event came up because of we had bad news from China overall. So yeah, so that sell in news event may not happen anymore, and we may get something closer to a tightening range, and we'll see if we can end up getting that tightening range. You can see from the top right here, it looks something more like that. Just draw it out, see what it looks like. Something a little bit like that. It's a visual guide overall. But yeah, if we bounce here and we end up not making the new high here, then this will be the more likely scenario for me for a tightening range. But this resistance is actually kind of clear. Rejection here, rejection here, rejection here. And let's take a look. November of 2023. Okay, so yeah, it wouldn't take that long, even if we chop around, tightening up into November, end of the year. And then we get a bull break. That's probably the more likely scenario, unless that there is some black swan event, but market is usually designed to go up over time. So if we get something like this, then the more likely scenario for in the end of the year, which is also a bullish season, probably get something a breakout like that. But so now I want to see this make a new lower than this one for that to increase the probability of that tiny range happening. We'll see about that. We'll see if we can get over that teal looking line as well as 181. And I'll be listening to the event tomorrow as well, and we'll see how that goes. Is it right? Yeah. Okay. And yeah, not much. Let's take a look at the weekly. Yeah, weekly is also shaping up that tiny range. You can see. Get a daily uptrend confirm at the same time breaking 12 EMA would look good. All right, let's take a look at Amazon. So Amazon, we've been talking about this guy for the past couple weeks, saying that this may be a laggard bull, meaning it's going to catch up to all of its peers because it's the last one that confirmed daily uptrend. And you guys know where I always talk about the big enough moves. So I was saying that this move was definitely big enough where we may very well shape up a daily uptrend, meaning from the bottom of the move, A, to the top of the move, B. When this consolidation happened, the most likely scenario was to shape up a daily uptrend, meaning we had to break above the prior pivot's high. So we did today and confirm a daily uptrend. That's why you can see a huge follow through. You can see the bull volume as well coming in when that happened. Look, that's 140. We zoom into the morning and see where we broke 140. So we broke 140 in the morning, right around here. So we shot up straight to it right in the morning. Let's go to 5 minutes. And we tried it for 4 times here. You can see reject, reject, reject. Formed a bull flag. Boom, broke out. Back test. You guys know how I always talk about the back test. It broke out. Back test exactly 450. Broke out. Back test. Bulls held it. Next thing you know, we never looked back. And we trended up on the 5 minute pretty much. 12 EMA. Slightly broke below here today. And then kept on going. Yeah, so that's where did it even touch the 12 EMA on the 15-minute time frame. So that is how strong today was for Amazon. Zero signs of fake out here today. If you just held your position, there is nothing to worry about because it never confirmed even a see did it confirm a 5-minute downtrend. Nope, not even a 5-minute downtrend confirmed today. So very clear. Even if we hit no signs of anything, this was just a tiny range, not a downtrend at all. Something like this bounced and broke below this prior low. It's a 5-minute downtrend confirmed. So bulls held the whole day. Didn't even have to sell any positions, but obviously we went straight to the resistance from this earnings high. So we had the earnings high right here at 243.63, and pretty much we double top there today, 143.62. So by 1 penny. So very clear resistance zone right there that we'll probably be testing tomorrow. And even if it pulled back, no big deal. This may just be a cup and handle, and then we get head higher. Daily uptrend confirmed. Now all of them are, although Apple's not in a daily uptrend anymore, but it's in neutral. We'll see. But finally, we got Amazon in Team Bull after a long time. And if we break that 143, then I'm looking back up at. Let's take a look. Because that zone coincides with pretty much right the low of this structure right here. You guys can see right there. That is why we have rejected it twice. So if we do break above that, then we're probably going to come up closer to the 150 because there's not a lot of resistance between 143 and 150. Barely any volume in this zone. So yeah, so that's where I'll be looking at for Amazon when it breaks above, or we reject here again, slightly pull back from that cup and handle, then broke above, back test, and head to 150. We'll see about that. Good. Hourly trend completely intact. And no signs of hourly consolidation yet. This is just one straight move, and we'll see if we get some hourly consolidation for the next move up. Consolidation just looks like this, slight pullback, continuation of the move. All right, take a look at Google. Google slightly weaker than its peers today, but no red flags because it's been pretty strong for the last two days. And we are in that chop zone. So we always talk about where Google makes a new move above into a new zone, and it just likes to go sideways for a little bit before it decides to go into a new zone. Just like over here, came back up, new zone, came back up, new zone, came back up. Now this is the new zone here. So very similar to here. This was the zone as well. So yeah, daily uptrend is still intact. We confirmed it right there on a Tuesday, and bounced off of the 12 EMA, and now we're just seeing if we'll test this 52 hike or not. not, then we'll probably get back into that zone, this chop zone again. It's 138 and 133. And we may form something like a tightening range over here as well. But as of now, daily trend is going to be our guide, as well as our hourly trend is still intact, hourly uptrend. So we may very well test 52 high tomorrow. Get a green day as well on QQQ. Real signs of red flags, and yep, all trends intact. So don't fight the trend. Same thing I talked about on all the other mega cap techs. Let's see, am I missing one? Microsoft, yeah, Microsoft. The one. Off on the daily. Same thing, decent breakout. Daily uptrend still intact as well. This was the broke out of that daily uptrend right here on Tuesday, and it's currently heading higher. So daily uptrend still intact. Keeping things simple as well. Daily downtrend was confirmed back here, and then we hold your shorts, right? Daily uptrend confirm. You want to be on the long side. You don't want to be going in against momentums. So very clear uptrend. Also, you can see when we're trending down, we're rejecting from the 12 EMA. 12 EMA doesn't always work, but if the recent price action of the 12 EMA shows very clear signs of rejecting or bouncing, then you can use it as support and resistance. You can see now we are stack as resistance. Now we're acting as support on the way up. So EMA 12 is going to be my guide, as well as we broke above 335 resistance over here, resistance, and we back tested it, bounce. So it looks good. Take a look. A little bit of weakness after hours. Might be some kind of news. I have not taken a look at what the news was, but more so back tested the resistance, acting as support, and then bounce off here. Might have to test it again tomorrow. We're pretty much just 30 cents away from it, so likely potentially test it again. If we do break below it, then that is a bull break lacking follow through. Even if we break below it, it's no big of a deal, not a red flag at all. We can still bounce just like we had this 2-day weakness here, and still an uptrend still intact on the daily. So we'll see how it pulls back tomorrow. Red flags. All right, let's take a look at Meta. Finally, we closed above the $301 mark for the first time ever. Not ever, but still in this megaphone. Let's take a look. So you guys know I talk about that every day. We get above it, and we just never close above this 301 and 300 zone. You can see how many times we got over it for the past week. 7 days, every day. Got back above it, close below it, close below it, close below it, close down here, close below it. Just shy of the 300 right there. Close that, yeah. And then finally today we closed well above 301 and 300. So that's a good sign for the bulls, I would say. And we confirmed the daily uptrend pretty much here. And then we're just chopping this megaphone. And now we're at the top of the megaphone. So let's zoom in to see what it looks like there. 15-minute charts. And pretty much perfect. Rejection, 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 rejection. But now we are potentially able to break out of it because support as well along the way. Because if you look at the price action now here versus prior rejections, see these kind of rejections, waterfalls over here. All these kind of just we hit it and then we just pop like a rock. Versus now, test it, boom, held the tiny range, broke out, we tried to retest it again, drop, now we bounce and try to retest it again. So those are looking to want to break it, and we're still just shy under it. So chances of us retesting again is quite high. We're like 0.2% below it. So yeah, very likely we test this in overnight or in the morning or right when market opens. We'll see if we get a breakout above that or not. Very clear resistance. You're looking at full forever megaphone looking thing, uptrending resistance. Yeah, let's take a look at the hourly. Hourly is in an uptrend, so that's good. Finally, after this chop sideways, we have a clear hourly uptrend here into resistance. Yeah, the reason we're holding this resistance well this time is that we have an hourly uptrend. You can see over here we don't have an hourly uptrend, just a straight shot up and then straight shot down. So, and we'll see if this hourly bull flag can actually take a look and see if it's an hourly bull flag or not. Yeah, still an hourly bull flag. Well, some people measure it from this bottom of the move. Let's take a look here. Still, the idea of the bull flag is that there's a very shallow pullback with pivots and then break above it. Above that, if we do break above this level, then I am looking back up at this 313 zone. Not that far away from it either. So 1.75%. Yeah, we could do that in one day. If we do break above that, there's going to be some resistance at 310 as well. Very clear support zone. Prior support zone is going to act as strong resistance over here. Other than that, this could potentially chop up into a equilibrium as well. So we'll see if we end up breaking the 3-2 high or not, or form something like Apple, where we tighten up into end of the year. Just a couple things we want to be looking out at as well. Yeah, because we have definitely made a pretty darn good move for the weekly chart. You can see pretty much straight up. So I wouldn't be surprised to see us tighten up into end of the year, form that tiny range after such a significant move, right? Very normal to click to something like this. You can see that's what pretty much exactly what it looks like. See this tiny range? Just goes sideways and tightens up. Then break out of that move. I wouldn't be surprised if we get something like that over here. Potentially, but we need more price action for that, for us to more confidently say that's going to happen. Because if we just break above this high, then the weekly uptrend just continues. Then we might not get that range. We'll see about that. What a move, 270%. All right. If you guys were looking for the commodities video, I already uploaded that one before this one. And yeah, if you guys like to support the channel, click the join button below and you'll see a video in there that explains what the perks you'll get. As well as if you guys have any questions, feel free to comment below. And if you guys learn anything, feel free to subscribe, like, and share. They're always appreciated. And I will see you guys tomorrow for more stock market updates and commodities update. Have a great rest of you guys' day.